Subscribe to VirtualStepDad or else this virus will take over your computer and leak all your saved folders to Twitter. I'm sure you would not want that to happen, so just subscribe now.
What's up everybody? Today we're doing a tier list video for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and we're going to be ranking the score streaks. I made this tier list myself because the one that was already available sucked. It was in terrible quality, and I decided to make my own, so I'll leave this as a link in the description if anybody else wants to make this video. But yeah, the way I have this set up is I have best. This is for the best in the game, the ones you should always be running. We got great. These ones are just below best, but sometimes they're better in specific situations. We got good. These are the average ones. These are ones you'll get kills with, but they're worse than great and best. We got okay. You can still get kills with this one, but it's a little bit harder than the rest, and sometimes you'll only get one. Then we got worse, which is you'll get one at best, if anything, and the support is just not worth it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm 5 subscribers away from 700 subs, so if you guys want to subscribe, that'd mean a lot. I got a lot of videos planned in the future, like dropping a bunch of care packages to find out the probability of what you can get from care packages in this game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started with the video. Alright, starting off, we got the combat bow. Is the definition of an average or below average score streak. It is the first one you get, so it gets the benefit of the doubt. It's super easy to get. And what's great about that is it's guaranteed to kill if it hits. The description says arrows burn targets and the surrounding area. But as you can probably tell by the background footage video, that's bullshit. I shot 2 people and it killed one person, which in normal circumstances I would have gotten a collateral, but all it did was explode one person and not damage someone that was right behind them. And these are bots that I'm playing against. They don't have fucking flak jacket or tag mask or whatever protects you against fire. So the burning targets thing is not super accurate. It's not like the Napalm Strike or the Molotov. It just kind of does a little bit of damage in certain situations. You also only have 4 shots to kill people, and it's pretty easy to miss. The thing that keeps this above worst tier is that it can destroy ground score streaks really easily, and if you hit someone, you're guaranteed to get a kill. But honestly, it's a lot better to just use a gun than use the combat bow. But if you're terrible with a gun or you have terrible guns, then you can use the combat bow to get started. Up next, we have the RCXD. And I don't know why the fuck it's so bad in this game, but it's absolutely terrible. Probably the worst in the game. Let me tell you why. I'm playing on PC, so I don't know if the controls on controller are different, but holy shit, this is the hardest thing to control. You can tell by the video. I have no idea how this thing works, and even if I knew how to control it, you get 1 kill at best. It's not like the combat bow where you get 4 shots. You get 1 chance to blow something up. And it costs more than the combat bow too. So you might as well just use the combat bow if you want something cheap to get at least 1 kill. It's not worth using. It's cool. I like the way it looks. There's a cool place that you can go on Nuketown for a ramp that I don't know how to do because I can't control this thing. But if you know how to use it, it's pretty cool. Up next, we got the spy plane. Pretty run-of-the-mill score streak. Actually, I'm going to put this in okay. Top of okay. Let me tell you why. So the UAV, spy plane, all that shit, been a classic in Call of Duty since it came out. Unfortunately, in this game, it sucks. Let me tell you why. Everybody's running launchers because they're trying to get golden launchers. Everybody's running SAM turrets to shoot down aerial score streaks. And everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are running air patrol, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, the spy plane is just easy to take down. It loses to too many things in the game, and its benefit isn't worth it that much. You can see enemies on your map for like 30 seconds, and then the cooldown is 90 seconds. That's pretty bad. I'm not a big fan of the spy plane in this game. It just feels like a waste of a slot. Now you do get the benefit of getting extra points when you use it, so you can use it to farm up points to get other score streaks easier, but I just think it's a lot worse than the next one, counter spy plane. I feel like blinding your enemies in this game is a lot better than knowing where they are, especially when you already have a mini-map that basically shows you where your opponents are anyways. Now, spy plane is a lot better in hardcore because it's the only way you'll be able to see people, but in core it's pretty bad. The counter spy plane is amazing in core. It basically, it's not like best or great, but for how cheap it is, I basically run this like the most, because blinding your enemies is really good. And I also like using jammers, and you get extra points for it, so I like using this over the spy plane. Then I use jammers, and I like blinding my opponent. Plus the cooldown's only 60 seconds as opposed to 90 seconds for the spy plane. So you can basically spam the counter spy plane. It's really fucking annoying to deal with too. Yes, it's easy to shoot down, but then what? You put another one up in 60 seconds? I just think it's a little bit better than the spy plane, which is why it goes in good tier. Next, we have armor. This goes in the top of okay. Let me tell you why. Combat bows. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to put it behind the spy plane, but above the combat bow. So armor. It's only good for one strategy. So if you're running that knife strategy where you just run around knifing people, armor is the best one to go with. Because most people shoot in the body, and it'll save your ass when you're running directly at someone with a knife. Other than that very specific situation, armor's pretty bad. If they get headshots, the armor does nothing. It basically allows you to 1v1 someone and basically always come out on top, but that's only one kill. That's pretty much just as bad as the RCXD. In fact, put this below the fucking RCXD, because you only guarantee basically one kill out of it. If you're fighting two enemies and they're both shooting you in the body, you could sometimes come out on top. I know some people really like the armor, I just think it's really bad. I'd rather be running the counter spy plane in this case, because the armor's just bad, except on one specific loadout, where it's actually pretty decent, but that's it. Up next, we have the sentry turret. I think sentry turret is great. Let me tell you why. So, it's only 2,000 points, and yes, it costs more than these guys right here, but it does a lot more than these guys right here. So, the sentry turret has bad AI in this game, which is what I think holds it back. It's also really easy to destroy, but what it can do is lock down an area, and in certain game modes that's really good. You can get a lot of kills if you place this thing correctly, but if you place it badly, you're not going to get any. So, it's going to be in the bottom of great. It might just be at the top of good. I might rearrange it at the end of the tier list, but yeah, the sentry turret, I think it's pretty decent in this game because it's so cheap. I mean, like, you can get at least 3 of these a match. I use these in free-for-all, and it just absolutely decimates people. Especially on certain maps like Garrison, Satellite, stuff like that. It's pretty good on Nuketown too. Just maps that don't have a lot of corners. What holds it back though is the fact that it's really easy to destroy and the AI is pretty bad, so it doesn't always kill people all the way or track down people super easily. Another small benefit is that it can go 360, so if someone is sneaking up on it for some reason, it can turn around and shoot them, but I don't know, man. I might move this down to good, but I honestly think the sentry turret's pretty solid. Next we got the care package. The care package is pretty middle of the pack, if I'm being honest. All it does is let you get something else, which we shouldn't even be ranking it because all it is every other score streak. But basically all it does is allow noobs to get shit that they wouldn't normally be able to get. I do plan on making a video on the care package where I drop 100 or 1,000 or something like that and see how, basically get a data table of the likelihood of getting stuff, because right now there is none as far as I'm aware. So we don't actually know the likelihood of you getting a gunship over getting an RCXD. Right now my guess is that they're not equal. They might be, who knows. But the care package has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streaks that it's more expensive than, and then I believe 9 that it's less expensive than. So if you have an equal chance of getting a gunship and RCXD, then the care package can be pretty good. And if you're a bad player, run this thing. It's super easy. Run engineer too, because then you can re-roll if you get something bad. You could basically get anything on this list. I ran the care package in Black Ops 3. I ran the spy plane, the care package, and then I ran the sentry turret. It was a pretty easy setup. The care package would sometimes give me really good games where I'd get a really good one, and then I would just absolutely decimate the map. And it's really just fun to use. If you're a casual player, the care package can be fun. Up next, we got the Napalm Strike. This is one of the best score streaks in the game. Let me tell you why. If you're playing on 1, Nuketown, 2, Crossroads Strike, or 3. What's the other small map? Raid. This is good in any game mode. If you're playing on Domination or Hardpoint, this is good on any game mode. If you're playing on Hardcore, this is good on Hardcore. Like, it's just so cheap, and you're guaranteed. You basically just either destroy an area. You can destroy an entire area of sentry turrets. You can destroy people's equipment. You can drop it down on an objective. You can drop it down on a spawn on Nuketown. So if they walk out, they just get burnt to death. It's so good. And it's so cheap. And the greatest thing about this is it's only a 30-second recharge. So if you're on an absolute killing streak, you can get this thing back in 30 seconds and drop another one. It's insane. And that's why I think the Napalm Strike is really, really good. Alright, up next we got the Artillery. This is going in great. Artillery is like the Napalm Strike, same recharge, only 200 points more. But you drop it directly on and it's pretty simple what it does. Do I think it's better than the Napalm Strike? No, I don't. Because the Napalm Strike leaves a lasting effect for at least a little bit, where you can shut down an entire area and people can't walk through it. With the Artillery, you just kill people on an objective. You can use it to destroy grounded score streaks, which is good. And overall, I just think it's great. It's not top tier, but it's really damn good. Up next, we have the Cruise Missile. This is a great score streak. And they basically buffed it in this game. You can kill 3 people really easily with this thing, because it detaches into 3 different missiles. You can also use it on grounded score streaks, which is really good. And I honestly just think this is really good. Like, I don't know what else to say besides it's a simple one. My favorite setup is just running Napalm, Artillery, Cruise Missile. It's so easy. You just cycle through these in objective modes like Hardpoint and Domination, and you just destroy the competition. You can drop a Cruise Missile if you get a squad wipe with an Artillery. You could pull out the Cruise Missile when they're all at spawn and just drop it right on them, which is super cool. So yeah, I think these are both great streaks. I'm actually going to knock the sentry turret down one because I think that the sentry turret is top of good, but it's just not as good as these two. Alright, up next we have the Air Patrol. Now, I'm going to put this in okay. Let me tell you why. It costs way too much. These all do so much more than the Air Patrol does. But the Air Patrol can save your ass if you're getting destroyed by the top 3 in the game. The Vtol, the Chopper Gunner, and the Gunship. It just completely destroys them. It also destroys Spy Plane. It also destroys a counter Spy Plane. Also destroys the Harp and the attack helicopter. The problem is that most people don't run these. And you can't even use the Air Patrol for anything on the ground. It still costs too much. And I don't know, man. The Air Patrol, you know what? I'm just going to say it's the top of good. Top of good. Or bottom of good. Because, is it in the same league as a sentry turret? Yeah, I feel like Air Patrol in professional games, or like games that really matter, are very important. Because people are going to be getting these a lot in those higher lobbies. Especially the Harp. And just to be able to wipe that thing out instantly is really good. So we'll just put it in good. War Machine. Best in the game. I think it has like 10 or 12 shots, I believe. It's only 4,000 points. And the amazing thing is that it's a one-shot kill if your opponent doesn't have Flak Jacket. And people run Flak Jacket exclusively because of the War Machine. Because grenade spam, while it's somewhat common, you can't get it with Scavenger. So it's not like grenades are super common. And the War Machine is basically so good that people started running Flak Jacket to counter it. That's how good this thing is. And even then, you can two-shot someone with Flak Jacket, so it's not even a big deal. You can spam this thing super easily, and the great thing is that it keeps your streak going, which no other kill streak, as far as I'm aware, does. Maybe the Combat Bow does? Not sure, but the War Machine does for some reason, which is super great. That's why I think it's the best in the game. You can use it to go on these insane kill streaks to get something like the Vtol, the Chopper Gunner, or the Gunship super easily, which is why I think it's basically the best score streak in the game, as it allows you to get these super high score streaks that are way above it, way easier. Alright, this is going to be a hot take. The attack helicopter is the absolute worst score streak in the game. And trust me, I love the attack helicopter. I like streaks where I don't have to control them and they just do their own thing. But unfortunately, the AI is so doo-doo fucking dog shit for the attack helicopter that it gets nothing done. It has a worse AI than the sentry turret, and it costs more than twice as much. You can get 2 sentry turrets and a fucking spy plane in the time it takes you to get an attack helicopter. So what's the point in even running it? Like, even in this bot lobby I have, I'm just playing bots, and they're on recruit level, and I'm on the best map for aerial score streaks. All it gets is like 4 kills. That's the same as the combat bow. That's the same as the artillery and shit. But it costs so much more, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just so underwhelming. And this isn't the easiest way to get it. It's completely useless if you're in a map that has a lot of indoor shit. So yeah, the attack helicopter, I think is worse than the RCXD, and I think it's worse than the armor. At least the RCXD, you know, I'll put it above the RCXD. I'm just being a little too heated right now. No, because you can have fucking 5 of these before you can even have 1 of these. You can at least get 5 guaranteed kills with the 5 RCXDs. You're not gonna fucking get 5 kills with this thing. Yeah, the attack helicopter sucks. Terrible score streak. God, this thing sucks. Alright. The Harp. Second best score streak in the game. This thing is absolutely insane. You guys know how it works. It lets you see your enemies for 60 seconds, and you can see what direction they're going in. And it's not like the spy plane, which scans over every once in a while. You see them in real time, which is so goddamn useful. It's pretty expensive, but if you're going on an absolute killing spree, this thing is so good. It's so good. It's so much better than the spy plane. Honestly, if you're going for a 20 bomb or a nuclear in this game, run the Harp, run the War Machine, and I don't know, maybe the Air Patrol, maybe the counter spy plane, maybe the spy plane, maybe the... I'm not sure. But, like, honestly, these 2 things, best in the game. Guaranteed. Alright, hot take, Vtol, I'm going to say, is in best tier, but it's worse than the Napalm Strike. Because you can get 3 of these before you can even get 1 of these. And on top of that, the Napalm Strike, basically, you can get 3 kills on certain maps. The great thing about the Vtol is that, spoiler alert, it's better than the chopper gunner and better than the gunship. And the reason why is that it's really hard to shoot this thing down because it can speed up with the shift button. As you can see in the gameplay, I'm able to speed across the map almost instantly, and you can control where it goes. If the enemy team flips spawn, you can just go to their spawn instantly and start fucking raining bullets on them. This thing is insane, and definitely, if you're trying to go for a top 3 score streak, go for the Vtol. And that leaves the chopper gunner to go into great tier. I'm going to put it above the cruise missile, but below the artillery. Now, the chopper gunner is fun, and if you get it from a care package, it's totally worth it. But I think it's worse than the Vtol. It just costs more, and even though it's not by that much, 1,000 points when you're getting in those high kills is not that much of a difference. But unfortunately, it just gets shot down easier by the Vtol. And even though it's funner to use in my opinion, I just like the Vtol more. I don't know, that's just my opinion. And of course gunship, it's a little bit less than the chopper gunner. If you can get a gunship from a care package, it's game over. If you're able to get a gunship, it's game over. But that's if you can get it. I had to go 49-2 to get it in the second half of the game. 49-2 against bots who couldn't kill me. And I was running score streaks that made it a lot easier to get that. And unfortunately, I can only get 1 per game. Unless you're running a care package and gunship and you're like the best player on the planet, you're not going to get this more than once. The Vtol, you might be able to get more than once. The Harp, you'll probably be able to get more than once. But the gunship is just way too expensive for what it is. It's the mother of all score streaks. You're going to absolutely wreck the competition if you get it. But you have to be a top player to get it, or you have to be running care packages. So yeah, this is my tier list right here. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange some stuff. I think the cruise missile is more versatile than the gunship. And I think the air patrol is better than the care package. Let me move that. I think the yeah, I think this is the list I want to go with. Because just look at this, right? War Machine, Harp, Napalm. That's a great way to go. For any game mode. This works for any game mode. This is the setup you want to go for. Playing Team Deathmatch, go for Napalm, War Machine, Vtol. You're playing in objective mode, go Napalm, War Machine, and Artillery. Or Harp. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, like, these ones up here, I'd say War Machine, Harp, and Napalm are the ones you should be running every single game. You use the War Machine to get the Harp. It gives your team such a huge advantage that it's just super great to use. But I think Napalm and War Machine are the ones you should be running every single game. And then Vtol and Harp are exchangeable. If you want to be more selfish, run the Vtol. If you want to be more of a team player, run the Harp. In fact, I'm gonna keep Harp there. I still think Vtol is... yeah, we'll put it right here. I don't know. These two are kind of interchangeable. But yeah, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to make your own, I got a link to it in the description. And if you want to argue with me, go ahead and leave a comment. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you liked the video. And subscribe because I'm trying to get some clout on this YouTube channel of mine. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.